Alright, Invincible, one of my most favorite TV series ever, anime, whatever you call it. It's been so damn good. But there's one major problem. And I'm sure you've already guessed that it's going to be the animation. The animation is horrible. Like it is bad. Like it's basically like two action figures clashing with each other. And so that's what it looks like sometimes. I'm going to be honest though. There are really good times where it's just like it looks insane. Like episode 7 season 4, like the whole Thrag fight with everybody. That was insane. But that episode was so good, but that episode also had like major problems. like two examples. One, there's like a little scene where you can see Mark's face gets like swapped into Paul's face. Very weird. Two, you can just see this Viltrumite when he gets like hit or knocked back or something and he's floating in space. All of a sudden he just like vanishes. He's just like poof, he's gone. Like he like completely gets removed from the screen, and it's just those things, man. And the animation itself has been, pretty bad, compared to season 1 and then all the way to season 4, right? And it's definitely taken a drop, especially season 2. Oh, season 2 was horrible. I'll admit season 4 has definitely been a little better, but yeah, it hasn't been great though. And I kind of want to talk about why it's bad, and what I think they could do to make it better. And so, yeah, let's get into it. So, basically, the Invincible animators, the team, they try to make a new season of Invincible every year with an hour of episodes. So that's 8 hours of animation, basically. Usually, episodes, 8 to 7 episodes, whatever. So let's just say 8 hours. 8 hours of animation. That is a lot. Compared to the recent season of Jujutsu Kaisen, it's not even close to that, right? It's half, not even close to 8 hours. And so that's why I kind of want to compare Prime and Mappa a little bit here, because Prime Video, trillion billion dollar company, whatever, make a ton of money, right? And a lot of their money goes to their voice actors, for instance. Like I heard about the main character, or the guy who plays Mark. I think his name is Steven. I can't remember his last name, but anyway, I heard he makes like 200 grand per episode. Like that is crazy. That is a crazy amount of money for him, right? And sure, he's a A-list celebrity, whatever, top celebrity, whatever. And that's the problem. All of the voice actors are celebrities, and they're paying these celebrities so much money to voice act on Invincible. And it's like, what? Why not just get regular voice actors who can do the same amount of, work just as good, but they don't cost nearly as much as that. And it's like, why don't they do that? That could save so much of their budget and push it towards the animation. But here's the thing. I'm pretty sure they could still have the budget. Like, if they do have the budget for better animation, it's the fact that they don't want to spend 2 to 3 years making the animation. Because let's be honest, Invincible is a very long series, right? But it doesn't matter though. Like there's other anime studios, or anime that are, like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, Jujutsu Kaisen, which are very long shows, right? And same with Invincible. And I'm so confused on why they just don't spend at least 2 years, maybe three, taking the time and putting the work into the animation. Because let's be honest here, that whole Thrag sequence, or just a different sequence you can think of, like just imagine if it had the JJK Jujutsu Kaisen animation quality. It would go insane, right? And the characters would look so much more like their comic characters, because let's also be honest, the comic version of the characters from the TV show, the comic characters look so much more jacked, so much more just like dominant. Like they just look so much better. And I get it's a single page writing, it's a single page thing, and I get they can really go crazy with the detail, but if they had that Mappa level of animation, it would get really close to that. Like, and I just I love Invincible. I truly do, but I think this is just the one thing that's holding it back. And I know this is a pretty like controversy thing, right? The animation. Oh, the animation. Oh no, like it's not that bad, bro. No, no, no. And I understand it, right? But like when I said earlier, just imagine, right? Just imagine if it had that level of Jujutsu Kaisen animation, or at least close to that. Like the fights would feel so much more impactful to you. Like a recent example that I have, Jujutsu Kaisen's, finale of season 3 part 1 or season 4 part 1, whatever. It like the finale of that was just crazy. And it was basically like it was only 20 minutes too, around like 26 minutes, 25 minutes. And it just felt so crazy cuz after you watched it, it's just like, oh my gosh, you're just starstruck. Like you cannot believe what you've just watched. Like it was just so crazy. And I'll admit, I felt like that when I watched episode 7, season 4 of Invincible with Thrag. I did feel like that a little bit. But that only happens once with, basically almost every, I'm not saying every episode, but a good amount of episodes for Jujutsu Kaisen, it feels like it's so impactful, right? And that's the thing, man. I just really wish they would spend the time and really develop the animation, because the animation's like the only problem I see with this show, and I can tell you that easily. Every time I see something about Invincible, animation, 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 animation. It's just always about the animation. So I don't want to drag it on too long, but I mean, yeah, it's just like why? Like why not spend the time and make it better, And like I said earlier, I get that they don't want to drag the series on for so long, like years and years and years, but look at Naruto, look at Dragon Ball Z, look at especially Jujutsu Kaisen, It's going to be a while until they get to the end, And I get it's way shorter, and Invincible's probably a little longer with an hour episodes, a little different, but still, I think they could upgrade it. I think they could still do a better job if they took maybe like a minimum of 2 years. 2 years, they like a year and a half, They really try to pump it out every year, and I just don't like it. I don't like seeing those shorts about, oh, look at Paul's face on Mark for a second. It's just like that is horrible. Like that's terrible, and I don't like that. I just that's just kind of my overall opinion about it. So whether you guys like it or not, it's up to you. But yeah, that's probably gonna wrap up this video. Hope you can get a little bit of understanding what I'm trying to say by this. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good one. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.